हेलो गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। मैंने अपना सेकेंड इंटरव्यू भी दिया था ई मेजरमेंट प्राइवेट लिमिटेड में। तो आज मैं आप लोगों के साथ में उसका भी एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करना चाहती हूँ। मेरा इंटरव्यू शेड्यूल हुआ था शाम को 6 बजे और ये अराउंड चला था मेरा 45 मिनट्स मेरा इंटरव्यू चला था। और जो इंटरव्यूअर था वो भी बहुत अच्छा था, उसने भी बहुत अच्छे मुझसे क्वेश्चंस पूछे थे और मैंने भी आंसर्स बहुत अच्छे से ही किए थे। और मैं आप लोगों को वही कुछ क्वेश्चन शेयर करना चाहती हूँ अबाउट द सेम। सो मैंने नोट डाउन करके रखे अपने पास में क्वेश्चंस जो मैं आप लोगों को शेयर करूँगी। जैसे कि मेरे पास में मेरा फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन है, उन्होंने मुझसे पूछा था कि व्हाट इज़ डॉकर वॉल्यूम। मैं सीक्वेंस में तो आप लोगों को क्वेश्चंस नहीं बता रही हूँ क्योंकि वैसे सीक्वेंस में मेरे पास नोट डाउन है नहीं अभी। तो उस तरह से जैसे मुझे याद आते हैं जैसे जैसे क्वेश्चंस मैं आप लोगों के साथ शेयर कर रही हूँ। सो व्हाट इज़ डॉकर वॉल्यूम, उन्होंने मुझसे डेवऑप्स का क्वेश्चन पूछा था। सो डॉकर वॉल्यूम क्या होता है, हम स्टोरेज के लिए यूज़ करते हैं। हम डॉकर वॉल्यूम क्रिएट करते फॉर परसिस्टेंट वॉल्यूम एंड फॉर स्टोरेज मैनेजमेंट इन DevOps एंड फॉर आवर एप्लीकेशंस एंड फिर उनका जो सेकेंड क्वेश्चन था कि व्हाट इज़ द पाथ ऑफ द डॉकर वॉल्यूम। सो उन्होंने मुझसे पूछा था कि व्हाट इज़ द पाथ ऑफ द डॉकर वॉल्यूम, बट उस टाइम पे मुझे इसका आंसर पता नहीं था कि पाथ क्या होता है डॉकर वॉल्यूम का। तो जो हमारा पाथ होता है डॉकर वॉल्यूम का, हमारा जो सभी का पाथ लिब के ही अंदर होता है, बार लिब डॉकर वॉल्यूम्स के अंदर हमारा ये जो पाथ होता है डॉकर का वो होता है। तो फिर हमारा जो सेकेंड क्वेश्चन था कि सपोज वी हैव टू इंस्टेंसेस रनिंग, वन इज़ बैक एंड वन इज़ UI, विच लोड बैलेंसर वी विल यूज़। सो उन्होंने मुझसे पहले पूछा था कि व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ लोड बैलेंसर्स। तो मैंने उन्हें बताया कि देयर आर द 4 टाइप्स ऑफ लोड बैलेंसर्स, एप्लीकेशन, नेटवर्क, गेटवे एंड क्लासिक लोड बैलेंसर। सो उन्होंने मुझसे पूछा कि एप्लीकेशन एंड नेटवर्क लोड बैलेंसर्स में डिफरेंस, व्हाट इज़ द डिफरेंस बिटवीन एप्लीकेशन एंड नेटवर्क लोड बैलेंसर। So application load balancer works on the 7th layer protocol application layer of OSI model, and it has the protocols like HTTP and HTTPS enabled, and it is used for reading the application level content, and it is slower than the network load balancer. So I told network load balancer works on the 3rd and 4th layer of layer in OSI model, transport layer and network layer, and it has the TLS TCP protocols in network load balancer, and it is fast because it can serve millions numbers of requests at the same time for backend users. And so they asked me that which load balancer you can use, application or network. So I told them both load balancers we have used in our project, but it depends that which type of application we are working on. So they just asked me that if suppose we have two instances running, one in backend and one in UI. So load balancer we will use. So which load balancer we will use? So I think that for the backend we will use the network load balancer, and for UI we can use the application load balancer for websites like readable content, and network for the request of users which route directly to our बैकएंड सर्वर्स। सो एंड फिर मेरा जो क्वेश्चन था फोर्थ क्वेश्चन पे वो था कि वाई वी यूज़ नेटवर्क लोड बैलेंसर। सेम ही क्वेश्चन था कि फिर हम नेटवर्क लोड बैलेंसर्स क्यों यूज़ करते हैं। तो मैंने उन्हें बताया कि एक तो हमारा जो ट्रैफिक रहता है वो इक्वली डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करने के लिए हम लोड बैलेंसर्स का यूज़ करते हैं, और जो स्केल अप स्केल डाउन के लिए भी हम करते हैं लोड बैलेंसर्स का यूज़। We use network load balancer for high performance and low latency, and it does not read the app level content, so it is fast. And we use this load balancer for high performance throughput. So that is the use case of the network load balancer. And the network load balancer works on the 4th layer of protocol, which is transport layer, and it does not read the app level content, and it is faster than the application load balancer. And it is used for the high performance throughput, like backend of our applications. If there is a huge number of requests, there is million number of requests users user request our access our websites. So we use their network load balancer for distributing traffic equally and high performance throughput. Then they asked me that which pipeline you have worked on in your company. So I just told them like we have worked on declarative pipeline. We did not have worked on the scripted pipeline. So they've asked me that why you only used the declarative. So as a DevOps engineer, our work is to use the declarative pipeline in our company, and the scripted pipeline is used for the developer centric. It is like a developer centric pipeline. So and it is quite difficult to understand to us, and declarative is much easy than the scripted. So we have used that and worked on with the scripted with the declarative pipeline. So I told them the basic structure also. They asked to write the basic structure of the pipeline. So I just written like pipeline agents and stages inside that steps we want to perform, and the basic only the simple structure of the pipeline they asked. And after that, moving forward, they asked me like questions. Difference between the scripted and declarative, this is done. And they asked me like what is IAM user policy and what is the role. So this is the most important questions whenever you go for any interview. They mostly ask this question: I am role, I am user, I am policy. So you should be just read it out, just remember this question that they are definitely going to ask in any interview. So I am user is nothing but like an entity or an user or a person who have all the access of using the resources, using the policies, groups, and all, and services. So this is the IAM user, and basically we work as IAM user in our company. We are also an IAM users for accessing our. We are not the root user or admin user. So this is just like that you can tell your interviewer, and you can also tell them about the IAM role. So IAM role is nothing but a set of permission which is not like IAM user, because in IAM users we have the permanent credentials, but and in IAM role there are temporary credentials there for accessing the services inside the AWS account or outside the AWS account. So and IAM policy is used to manage the IAM group roles and users. It is attached. It can be attached to the roles, groups, and users. It is like a document file in JSON, JavaScript object notation. It is like that, and we have like trust policies also there, and it is used for allow and deny the permission, uh, who can access the services and who cannot access the services, like that. के बाद मुझसे उन्होंने पूछा था कि वाई वी यूज़ रोल इफ़ वी हैव पॉलिसीज़ एज वेल. सो जो रोल्स होता है वो सिर्फ हमें टेम्प्रेरी यूज़ के लिए होता है. टेम्प्रेरीली हमें कोई एक्सेस देना है तो हम रोल्स यूज़ करते हैं, और हमें क्या एक्सेस देना है और किसको हमें एक्सेस देना है सिर्फ वहाँ पर हमारा वो डिफाइन होता है. और इससे हम क्रेडेंशियल जो है आउटसाइड अवर AWS अकाउंट, मतलब जिसका अकाउंट नहीं है हमारे सिस्टम का, तो उन्हें भी हम परमिशन प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं बाय यूजिंग द IAM रूल्स. और जो IAM पॉलिसीज़ होती है वो विद इन अवर AWS अकाउंट होता है, और इट इज़ नॉट लाइक अ टेम्प्रेरी, इट इज़ लाइक अ परमानेंट policies. So moving forward, they've asked me what is S3 life cycle, why we use S3 life cycle. So S3 Lifecycle is a feature of AWS which provides to moving your objects from one storage to another storage for cost management also. And if we are not using our object on regular basis, so it move to the different storage. And like we have three major storage, like standard, infrequent access, and archive. So if we are using our objects on daily basis, so we can keep it in standard, and if we are not using we are using infrequently, then moving there are some rules that can move automatically to the storage, like archive, and infrequent access, deep archive, glacier also. So the so after that they asked me like what is Kubernetes. So I told like Kubernetes is an orchestration tool for managing different kind of containers, or it is architecture of Kubernetes. Also I have told there is a master node and worker node, and in our project we have single master, multi-node, single etcd cluster, and it is a self-managed cluster. We are not using the EKS because in my company I didn't use the EKS. So I told like that. And in worker nodes we have pods, and pods can be single or multiple, and inside pods we have our containers, and inside containers our applications are running. So in master node there are four components, and in worker node also there are four components. Like in master node we have etcd cluster, API server, control manager, and kubectl and the cube scheduler. And in worker node we have kubelet, kubeproxy, containers, and pods, container engines and pods, and we have like secured SSH connection between both. So after that they have asked me like what is Docker Compose. So its answer is like that Docker Compose is a tool which is used for defining and running multiple containers, and it is used for multi-container Docker applications. And we use Docker Swarm for if we want to work with multiple containers together. So we use Docker Compose.yml file, and it is like that. In Docker Compose YML file we can define our services, networks and volumes, etc., for using together the database, the cache files, the network servers. So we it supports supports the Docker Compose up, Docker Compose down. These commands we can use with Docker Compose. And moving forward, we have our questions that